Good day everyone. So today we will be discussing about pedagogical stylistics. So first, let us define what is stylistics. So stylistics is a branch of applied linguistics concerned with the study of style and text, especially but not exclusively in literary works. It focuses on the figures, tropes, and other rhetorical devices used to provide variety and distinctness to someone's writing. And one of its type is pedagogical stylistics. So, let us define what is pedagogy. Pedagogy is a method of how teachers teach their students, how knowledge is being imparted by the teachers in the classroom context. However, when we combine pedagogy and stylistics, this refers to employing stylistic analysis in the teaching process that aims for the students to better understand literature, language, and also language acquisition. It teaches students how to look for and interpret the stylistic dimension of a text. With pedagogical stylistics, students could enhance the awareness of the language used in the text. They would be able to know and understand the linguistic patterns in the text with the aid of the teacher's teaching methods. Let's take, for example, literature. With the pedagogical stylistics, we could understand how meanings are made and what makes the language of literature different from everyday language.
So, to continue with, according to Clark 2007, there are three ways on how students are taught to analyze the text. First is it is concerned with analyzing the formal properties of the text. So this means that it includes analyzing phonology or the study of sound patterns and their meanings, vocabulary and syntax of the phrases and clauses, and also analyzing the relationship between sentences and the paragraphs. So, let's have this example. The poem, the opening poem of Edgar Allan Poe, which is entitled The Raven. So, in this text, let's read it. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many quaint and curious volume of forgotten love. So for phonology, we notice that the repetition of the O sound in Once upon a midnight dreary and the pondered weak and weary. So this creates a sense of melancholy and gloom, setting the tone for the poem, right? So for the vocabulary, words like dreary, weary, quaint, and forgotten evoke a sense of sadness, isolation, and the past. So for the syntax, the long, flowing sentences with multiple clauses creates a sense of suspense and build a anticipation. And also the poem structure with its regular stanzas and rhymes contributes to all over rhythm and the musicality. So let's move for the second ways. For the second ways, it is stylistics goes beyond the formal feature of the text. It concentrates on the text contact between a text other and the text of the reader. So it means that students are taught meaning it is not stable. It depends mainly on how a text is interpreted by the reader in this sense of stylistics because it has an interactive function. So like for example, a think about how the Shakespeare play the Romeo and Juliet might be interpreted differently by a modern teenager and compared to a Shakespearean scholar. For the modern teen, the teenager might focus on the themes of love, yes, forbidden romance, and rebellion, relating it to their own experiences. While for the Shakespearean scholar, the scholar might analyze the play's use of language, its historical context, and its influence on later works of literature, right? So it means that the meaning is not stable. The play's meaning is not fixed, and it depends on the reader's background, experiences, and perspectives. And for the last one, which is the stylistics concerned itself with the social cultural context within which reader and writing takes place. And this means that the contextual factors such as the cultural background of the reader and the situation in which a text is must read and be taken into consideration when analyzing a text. So let's have an example. Consider a news article about a political event. The way the article is written will be influenced by the social and cultural context in which it is published. For the contextual factors, the article's tone, language, and perspective will likely reflect the political climate. The values of the publication's target audience and the cultural norms of the society in which it is read. Of course. And that's all for the 3 ways. So, in addition, the quarter 2010 remarks that pedagogical stylistics does not aim at imposing a fixed and uniform interpretation of a single text, but rather emphasizes the necessity that encourages readers to have freedom and using their own extended knowledge to analyze a certain literary work. Yes, so there is no fixed method for analyzing a certain literary work. Rather, we could enrich meaning through our own cultural and linguistic experiences. Again, let us all remember that a stylistics-based pedagogy encourages an approach rather that it is sensitive to language and context and enables students to understand how a text operates rather than just explain what it is. And also, this emphasizes that teaching stylistics isn't about forcing a single interpretation on students. Instead, it's about encouraging them to use their own knowledge and experiences to analyze texts in meaningful ways. Yes, it's about being sensitive to language and context and understanding how the text works. And the pedagogical stylistics, it is also about helping us understand how language works in different contexts. It's not about all the finding the right answer, but about exploring the many ways that can be interpreted and can be understand the text. And lastly, this approach encourages us to be active readers who uses our own backgrounds and the experiences to make meaning from what we read. And then, by understanding how text work, we can become a more critical and thoughtful readers. And that would be all for my part. Thank you so much.